I love 3D Mario games, but they're generally considered incredibly easy. So I decided to make things harder for myself by forcing myself to watch the Mario movie, but not the good one with Chris Pratt.
Koopas!
I'm talking about the other one. 8 games, 1 terrible movie. Every time I die, I need to watch the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie from start to finish. So if I can see it as little as possible, that would be ideal. Issue: I'm not that good at Mario. Mario 64 was Nintendo's first true 3D game, and honestly, they kinda cooked with this one. The premise is simple. Bowser takes over Peach's castle, Mario jumps into paintings that take him to different worlds, and he collects stars to open more rooms. You don't even need every star, just 70 to beat the game, which is great, because I'm trying to not die. The early worlds are pretty forgiving, and I make it to the first Bowser fight. Spin him around, throw him into bombs, it's easy. That unlocks the castle basement with levels like Lethal Lava Land, which sounds foreboding. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. I mean, lethal was in the name and all. So I just watched the Mario Bros. Movie for the first time, and I gotta say, not as bad as everyone says it is. It's fun. That's the best way to put it. It is a fun movie, as long as you pretend that the characters are not related to Mario. As the game goes on, the worlds get bigger and harder, but what really fights me are the controls and the camera. I have been fighting these cameras and controls for the entire game. The movement feels slippery, the camera doesn't rotate smoothly, it jumps in awkward increments, and it makes judging depth way harder than it should be. Oh no. No, 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 no! So what is the movie about? In Brooklyn, the meteor that killed all the dinosaurs split the universe into 2 dimensions. One where humans evolved from apes, and another where dinosaurs evolved into humanoid reptiles. Daisy, an archaeology student, unknowingly carries the key to merging the 2 worlds. Mario and Luigi, who are struggling plumbers, get caught up when she's kidnapped by Iggy and Spike. Yeah, I know, they look nothing like in the game, just ignore it. And they chase her into the bizarre dinosaur dimension of Dino Hatton. Saying it out loud, it sounds ridiculous, but I'm telling you, it is a fun movie. So I'm running around collecting more stars, but suddenly, I made a mistake. At some point, I lost Mario's hat. At first, I didn't care about it, but it just kept nagging at me and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I had to get it back no matter what. Totally worth it. I got my hat back. Eventually, I reached the final Bowser fight. I played overly cautious, but honestly, it's no harder than the others. I beat him, rescued Peach, and got a cake. Overall, I didn't love this playthrough. The low poly graphics are charming, the music's fantastic, and the worlds are creative, but the camera and controls drag everything down. They make a great game harder to enjoy. But still, with only 3 deaths, that's not that bad, and things should get easier from here. The keyword is should. On the GameCube, Mario takes a vacation, except he gets framed for a crime the moment he lands and is immediately thrown into jail. Honestly, one of the greatest intros to a Mario game. Someone posing as Mario has been covering the island in graffiti, and now Mario has to clean it up. Luckily, he has Flood, a sentient power washer. Flood can blast graffiti, damage enemies, and even let Mario hover. Using Flood for jumps feels surprisingly natural, like it was always part of Mario's moveset. The environment is also very beautiful, especially with it taking place on a resort island. But there's just no variety. Like, would it kill them to have one snow world or a desert world? But once again, the controls and camera fight me. Mario feels janky to move around. And for the camera, they just felt like sometimes putting it way over there. It's rarely the angle you need, which makes landing precise jumps a nightmare. I'm just going to drop the facade for a second. This game sucks. The worst part about this game is the floodless levels. They strip away everything fun and leave behind the hardest platforming in the game. If you miss a jump, that's an instant death. In Mario 64, you could skip hard levels because of how many stars were available. But here, they're mandatory because you have to clear episode 7 in every world to unlock the final boss. I died 7 times trying to beat all of these levels. I don't even care about watching the movie at this point. It gets better with every rewatch, but Sunshine doesn't get better no matter how many shinies I get. I guess one good thing I could say about the game is that the boss fights are amazing. You fight people like Petey Piranha and a giant blooper. These fights are so good that Nintendo keeps reusing them throughout the game. Eventually, the plot reveals that the fake Mario is Bowser Jr. I chase him to Corona Mountain where I find Bowser taking a bath with his family. I destroy the tub, rescue Peach, and clear Mario's name. On paper, Sunshine is an upgraded Mario 64, a hub world jumping into portals, collecting shinies to progress. Flood is a fantastic addition, and it's great to see the new characters like Bowser Jr. and Petey Piranha. But the floodless levels ruin it. Why introduce such a fun mechanic just to rip it away? I honestly hated this game more than Mario 64. In order to redeem itself, the next game's gonna have to do something out of this world. Nudge nudge, wink wink. The next game, Super Mario Galaxy. A Star Festival is happening when Bowser crashes it, kidnaps Peach, and takes her into actual space. How am I supposed to compete with that? Luckily, Rosalina and Lumos help me out, giving Mario the ability to spin, which works both as an attack and a little extra jump. It's simple, but implemented perfectly. Soon I'm at the Comet Observatory, a hub with multiple rooms leading to dozens of galaxies. Levels themselves feel like little puzzle boxes, with gravity pulling you in every direction, but it never felt confusing as to how Mario would move. Mario has fought penguins, ghosts, and turtles, but here, his real enemy is Newton's law of gravity and black holes. And it feels like a massive weight has just been lifted off of my shoulders because finally, they made a good 3D Mario game. The goal is to collect stars to power up the observatory so it can reach the center of the universe. Most levels are straightforward platforming, but the game also introduces new power-ups. Bee Mario, Boo Mario, and Spring Mario, which was just horrible. I avoided every level that it was in. Bosses are fantastic here. King Caliente, Bulgergeist, and even Bowser himself, which feels great after Sunshine barely used him until the very end. Even the airship levels are fun. Out of all the ways to die, that was the funniest. You know, I actually really love the characters in this movie. While the story has no idea what it's doing, every actor gave it their all, and it's making me love the movie the more and more I see it. I guess that's called Stockholm Syndrome. Every so often, a prankster comet appears, remixing a star with a new challenge, like a time limit or a one-hit health. Luckily, they're optional. I only need 60 stars to finish the game, which means I can skip the hardest levels if I want to. That freedom feels so refreshing after Sunshine forced me into mandatory pain. The only downside is, stars aren't as interconnected as in 64. Each star in a galaxy is basically a separate level, which breaks the flow a little bit. Eventually, I reach the center of the universe, fight Bowser, and the Lumas sacrifice themselves to restart creation with a new Big Bang. Hopefully the Mario movie doesn't exist in this universe. This game is gorgeous. Controls are tight, gravity tricks feel natural, and the camera is always where it needs to be. The orchestral soundtrack is incredible and every galaxy feels distinct. My one complaint is how underused the power-ups are, especially the red star, which lets Mario fly. It's amazing, it even has its own song, but it's only used for 1 star. How criminal. This game was so popular, it is the only 3D Mario game to receive a direct sequel. Man, I can't wait to go back to the Comet Observatory and see Rosalina get— Who are you? Galaxy 2 is exactly like Galaxy 1. I know, shocking. A direct sequel playing like the first? But there are plenty of differences. Rosalina and the Comet Observatory are gone. Instead, I get a ship shaped like Mario's head and this thing. There are new power-ups like the rock mushroom, which crushes enemies, and the cloud flower, which might be the perfect Mario power-up. I love the cloud flower so much. It makes platforming creative, intuitive, and it's a shame that it never returned in another 3D Mario game. But the best addition is Yoshi. He's so much fun to use and even gets his own power-ups: the glowing fruit, the inflation fruit, and the speed pepper. The smallest crack known to man. How do you fall into the smallest crack? Another thing I love about this movie is Luigi and Daisy's relationship. It's love at first sight. Just look at them, instantly romantic. Oh hey, the Twin Towers. Not every change is a good one though. The galaxies are laid out like a 2D Mario game, and the levels themselves feel a lot more linear. There are more galaxies per world, but fewer stars per galaxy. Because of that, I had to grab nearly every single star just to progress, which means I am forced into harder levels and dying more often. I need to focus on something not Mario related. You're not really that related. So after Mario and Luigi enter Dino Haddon, they're immediately robbed of the meteor shard and have to chase it down through the chaotic city. They get arrested, thrown into a police station, and eventually interrogated by Koopa himself. The brothers escape and stumble through a desert, fungus-filled streets, and even a nightclub, eventually ending up at Koopa's tower, where Daisy is held captive and the real showdown begins. You wanna know what happens next? Stick around. I watched this movie more times than most people will in their entire lives. I'm farming my watch hours. The Bowser fights are also different this time. In Galaxy 1, you have to bait him into burning his own tail before knocking him around. Here, he's massive, so you chuck small moons at him instead. It's different at least, and after landing the final hits, Rosalina finally shows up trying to redeem this game, and thankfully, the universe doesn't reset again. If I'm being honest, Galaxy 2 just isn't as good as the first. None of the galaxies really stand out because you don't revisit the same area despite being the same galaxy. It's still fun, the music is incredible, the gameplay is tight, and I love the new additions, but the freedom is gone. You are forced to play everything. In Galaxy 1, I could avoid the stars I knew I'd die on. In Galaxy 2, I couldn't. What I dislike the most about this game is that it leaned on the 2D structure too much. If this game blurred the lines between 3D and 2D, the next game just crossed it entirely. Super Mario 3D Land. I was looking forward to this since it's the first original handheld 3D Mario. The story though, is not original. Peach is kidnapped again, but the levels, they feel exactly like a 2D Mario game, just with 3D movements. The worlds, the levels, even the bosses, they could all exist in 2D, and they are all dull. Collectibles are mandatory, but they're so easy to find they barely count as a challenge. The fake out ending with Peach was funny, I'll give them that. The music is good, but overall the game is short, easy, and honestly, just forgettable. I know this section feels short, but that's because the game is short. I didn't even die once, and when every level just feels like filler, then all I can say is dull and boring. And then they made another one of these for the Wii U! Super Mario 3D World looks like Land, but bigger. Instead of Peach, Bowser kidnaps some fairies. The levels are wider, but the layout is still 2D in disguise. This time though, I found myself enjoying it more. The Cat and Toad levels are clever, there's more variety overall. And the new power-ups are a blast. The Cat Bell lets you climb anything, and the Double Cherries let you multiply into chaos. Even the bosses are more creative, though still way too easy. What makes a 3D Mario game feel 3D? Well, to me, it's the hub world. You had Isle Delfino, Peach's Castle, the Comet Observatory. But in 3D world, all the levels are just laid out on a line. Sure, you can move around in it, but it's just a glorified map screen. The game stays easy until you hit World Castle. Then suddenly, the difficulty spikes. Then something happened. A giant meteorite struck the Earth. Goodbye, dinosaurs. But what if the dinosaurs weren't all destroyed? What if the impact of that meteorite created a parallel dimension where the dinosaurs continued to thrive and evolve into intelligent, vicious, aggressive beings? Just like us. And hey, what if they found a way back? I hate this movie. Beating Bowser, he tricks me into thinking it's over, only to reveal a whole new world of levels and more opportunities to die. You know, this movie still kind of holds up. The tech at the time is really impressive. Look! Oh, that did not age well at all. The final Bowser fight is different since he uses the cat bell on himself and becomes Meowser. But honestly, all you need to do is climb a tower and avoid him. It's not that hard. And after rescuing the fairies, that's pretty much it. Alright, 3D World was fun, but it still doesn't feel like a true 3D Mario game. It just feels like a more polished version of 3D Land with better ideas, but it's still stuck in that 2D in disguise mindset. And when the Switch came out, Nintendo came up with DLC for the game.
Can you buy this port of a Wii U game at full retail price?
Screw you! Also, yes, I will be buying that game again at full retail price. And thank God I did, because Bowser's Fury feels like a real 3D Mario game again. It starts with Mario stumbling into a world covered in black paint, where Bowser is now a kaiju-sized nightmare. Every 5 minutes, he wakes up, rains fire, and you either grab a cat shine to make him retreat, or power up yourself into a giant kaiju Mario to fight him. It's tense, it's chaotic, and it's brilliant. And the best part, the world is seamless. No level select, no loading screens, you just walk from one island to the next. Everything's cat themed too, from the enemies to the collectibles to the cats. This is what 3D World should have been. I'd consider Bowser's Fury more of a 3D Mario than World and Land combined. It has all the fun mechanics of 3D World, but in a fully open 3D space. The Bowser mechanic keeps constant pressure on you, and eventually you gather enough shines to face him in one final fight. The whole adventure is short. You can 100% it in about 3 hours. And once again, I didn't die. The only letdown is lack of shine variety. You're going to see the same 3 objectives on every island. But man, was that refreshing. Finally, after all these safe Mario games, it's great to see something bold again. But Mario had to go on an Odyssey to bring this series back to its roots. Yeah, that pun doesn't really work, but I'm keeping it in. Mario Odyssey kicks off with Bowser kidnapping Peach for their wedding? Mario tries to stop him, but gets tossed aside and gets his hat destroyed. Enter Cappy, a ghost with a grudge against Bowser for kidnapping his sister. He gives Mario a new hat and wow, the movement this unlocks is insane. You can throw Cappy, dive to him, bounce again, and chain jumps in ways that make platforming feel endlessly creative. This is the best companion Mario has ever had. Flood was cool and the Loomis were cute, but Cappy changes how you play. On top of that, Cappy lets you capture enemies and NPCs, literally taking control of them. It's clever, though I mostly used it when the game required me to. After a few tutorial kingdoms, I finally get the Odyssey ship and the loop kicks in. Land in the kingdom, grab as many moons as possible, then move on. Unlike stars or shinies, moons are everywhere, hidden in blocks, lying on the ground, or tied to objectives. You don't need them all, just enough to keep traveling, which makes the pacing flexible. It's finally time to see the best kingdom in the game. Never mind. I make it to Lost Kingdom surrounded by a poisonous lake that will kill you in one hit. I know it will kill you in one hit, because I messed up a jump and fell right in. From there, it's kingdom after kingdom, and some stand out way more than others. Metro Kingdom is the crown jewel. New Donk City is iconic. Sand Kingdom too. Others honestly blur together. Still, the whole adventure has direction. Bowser is collecting wedding supplies across the entire world until the final showdown on the moon. Meanwhile, in the movie, see, I bet you thought I forgot about it, Mario and Luigi finally reach Koopa's tower to rescue Daisy. So the first step was to force Goombas to dance in an elevator. Koopa successfully merges the human world with Dino Hatton, but Daisy and Luigi immediately stop that. Mario and Luigi de-evolve Koopa into a pile of slime, and Dino Hatton is saved. Daisy has to stay behind, but Mario and Luigi return to their home until Daisy comes back and asks for their help again. And a sequel that was never made. Odyssey's ending, though, is unforgettable. You crash the wedding, the moon collapses, and you capture Bowser to escape. Then Peach rejects both of them. What a jerk! And yet, what a game. The kingdoms are huge playgrounds, the movement is fluid and fun, the music is phenomenal, and the capture mechanic keeps things fresh. It's not hard, and it can be as long or as short as you want it to be, depending on how many moons you chase. After years of 3D Mario games blurring into the 2D territory, Odyssey finally felt like a true return to form. And that is every 3D Mario game. And I only died 16 times. I've seen this movie 16 times. What the hell is wrong with my life? 3D Mario games will always hold a special place in my heart, even when some of them stumble or feel like experiments that didn't quite land. you can still see Nintendo trying new ideas and shaping what Mario would become. Going from 64's groundbreaking freedom, to Sunshine's messy charm, to the cosmic wonder of Galaxy, and finally to the open joy of Odyssey. It's been an incredible journey to revisit. What makes these games special isn't just the platforming, but how they capture a sense of adventure that no other series really matches. And oddly enough, I found the same thing with the Mario Bros movie. It's flawed, weird, and makes choices no sane filmmaker should ever make. But by watching it over and over, I ended up appreciating it in ways I never thought I would. Both the games and the movie show that even through missteps and strange directions, Mario has always been about taking risks, surprising you, and giving you something to remember. But at least I never have to see the Mario movie ever again. God! Damn it! Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw, you should hit that subscribe button. I would like to thank all of my Patreons, and you should check out another one of my videos. They're pretty good.